What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you for taking the time on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Part two, I guess. We just talked a little bit earlier about the practice notes injury report from the day 2 of practice. So go check that out if you missed it. But appreciate you all taking the time, whether you're watching this live or watching this later. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, all that stuff you're doing to support me. I truly appreciate you. But one of the things I've been asked about a lot, and then, of course, a picture showed up today with the joint practices with the Browns was, could, or rather should, the Eagles have interest in trading for the Browns running back Kareem Hunt? Well, I figured we could talk about that today. So we're going to talk about all of it. You see here, this fine little list here. We're going to go through all this stuff and talk about if it makes sense and if the Eagles even could make a trade for Kareem Hunt. So I truly appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. First time, the best. Wow, look at. All right, what are you saying? Your first comment? I appreciate you taking the time, JP. Let's get this started, though. Everybody else who's taking the time, I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're the first or last comment. JP, my man in the building, I saw you had commented. I got done my other video, had to run, literally get back, let my dog out, and then try to put this show on for you. So sorry I couldn't really chat, but sent you the link so you knew I was coming home to talk about it. So we are talking about the Kareem Hunt situation, talking about all that great stuff. So let's get it started. The Eagles interested in running back Kareem Hunt? Well, I'll be honest with you. After seeing this picture, you knew that the floodgates would open. EJ Smith posting this and saying, Nick Sirianni, Kareem Hunt. I'll let you guys have fun with this. So you see, obviously, our coach talking to the running back, but obviously, he's talked to more than just Kareem Hunt, but this is the topic of the week. This is who people want to talk about. And look, with certain things going on with the Philadelphia Eagles, it's understandable why people are getting antsy and why people talk about this again this year. So let's get into it. With the Eagles running backs, a certain running back, Mr. Miles Sanders here, we know that, he obviously has had some injuries in the past. And, I think that he obviously is a very talented back, very, right? But the problem is he has a hamstring injury right now. People are freaking out, and losing their mind, but the team's being precautious, just like they were with Devontae Smith. So I'm not too worried about it. But look, this dude is definitely a very talented guy. But what if you didn't have to get rid of him to make this move? So what if you just added someone to this running back room? So when you're looking at this running back room, I mean, obviously, we all love Miles. I think Kenny Gainwell has a really bright future. We've talked about he's had obviously some issues here in training camp, but look, he's still a young back. He's got a lot to learn. I think that this kid, he is really going to be fun to watch. So for me, I think, he's really going to be something special in the long run. We'll see how that really pans out. But again, I think that, Boston Scott, Mr. Dependable, he is somebody that they're all kind of the same mold. So Jason Huntley, he's shown he can do great things in the return game. Can he be that as a running back? Kennedy Brooks, we want to see more running with that power. DeAndre Torrey, a running back that was just brought in to compete. So it seems slim, but the top running backs on this roster, I think the Eagles are really excited about because, we have Jalen Hurts. We have the best offensive line. We were the number one rushing attack last year. We ran the ball the most, percentage-wise out of any team. So I think that we're going to continue to, run these backs. So instead of, I think a lot of people's thought process is get rid of Miles. What if you just add another running back like a Kareem Hunt to the mix? So I think, I would be okay with adding Kareem Hunt because, look, here's the thing. When you talk about him on the field, great running back. But here's the other thing. I think we'll take a pause here for a second. I think it's hilarious that you see some of these reporters like, I can't do it. Deshaun Watson, like a horrible person. And, I don't want to trade for him. You guys know I didn't want to trade for him. Jalen Hurts QB1. But then in their next breath, but we got to trade for Kareem Hunt. And it's like, well, hold on now, because I'm pretty sure just a couple years ago he was trying out for kicker. So nothing funny about that. But look, I know that he apologized. At least he stood up for what he did, and tried to find remorse and do things to get help. And that's I'm all about second chances. Sean Watson is not really doing that right now. So, however you feel about him off the field, I totally understand if you don't want someone like that on your team. I totally do, and I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of him off the field. I'm not. I'm not a fan of him as a person doing that. I am a fan of him getting the help he needs and hopefully truly doing what he needs to do to become a better person and not do things like that in the future. But we're talking about football here, so I know I'm not here to preach to you guys. So however you feel about it, we're going to talk about what he has done on the field. So we know that he was drafted in the 3rd round by Kansas City. What a phenomenal rookie year he had in 2017. But obviously with those off the field issues, he was let go, ended up on the Browns. And, he has obviously played second fiddle to Nick Chubb now. But, dude, that is one of the top running attacks in the game. So he's 27 years old. He's got that 5 years experience. But, again, he hasn't been a leading back the last few years. So he hasn't been exactly ran into the dirt. But one thing I talked about earlier today was the fact that, he's actually missed like 22 games in his 5 years. So people talk about Miles missing 11 and 3. If you do the math there, it's actually worse. So Kareem Hunt's missed more games, so I really feel that for me, I think that, Kareem Hunt, he also has injury history. So you got to be careful here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to talk about all of it. Don't worry. But you see here, he's got some good numbers and he can catch the damn ball too. So 9.1 yards per reception. That's pretty damn good. Only 4 fumbles and 16 reception touchdowns, 28 rushing touchdowns. He's got a knack for the end zone. So this dude, there's no question, is one badass running back. I cannot take that away from him. Where that, again, whatever you feel about him off the field, on the field, this guy, he means business. That's when he's healthy. So I think that he's definitely somebody you add to this stable of backs, you're going to have one of the best running back rooms in the league. This dude is a workhorse. And I mean, we've seen it in Cleveland. But one of the things you have to keep in mind is, I think this guy, he wants a new contract. He's coming up, obviously next year he'll be a free agent. So he wants a new contract. He's going to want one. So the team trading for him has to know that you're either going to give him a new contract or you're going to let him play out this year. And then whatever you traded away, you're going to risk maybe losing him next year. So you got to always keep that kind of stuff in mind. But let's take a look at where his contract stands right now. So he's currently on a 2-year, $12 million contract. The final year of that, it's a $6 million per year contract. And it's actually a $6.25 million cap hit. So he's actually got a pretty hefty cap hit there for a backup running back. But look, he could definitely get starting reps. Let's not kid ourselves. This dude's pretty talented. But you see the numbers there. So now what I'm going to do for you next is your guys' favorite part, doing the math for you to show you what that would do for the Eagles. So got a few comments here, so let me fly through these here real quick. Nina, back again. Love to see it. Appreciate you. Hope you and the family are well. But going to try to give you some information here. You saw his number. So what I'm going to do next is show you how that would affect the Eagles. So you're not just taking that and subtracting it from salary cap. I did the math for you. So simplifying it, trying to show you guys how to get this done, how the Eagles can get this done. Jock Talk, my man, I appreciate you tuning in as well. Hope you are off to a great start with your weekend here, man, because I'm getting antsy for some Eagles football. I don't care if it's just preseason, but I'm ready for Sunday. I know that. Rager in Cleveland, bring back. Rager had a great day today. You love to see that. Sirianni stuttered more about Miles than he did when asked about other injuries. Didn't seem. Yeah, they said that, it's not a serious injury, as I've been saying. Being precautious, what you want to do with players throughout. My man, East Coast, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a great weekend so far. If not yet, let's make it one. My man, you know it. Good vibes only. I'm feeling great. Voice is still a little shot, but ready to talk some birds. A little excited here. And, we're talking about Kareem Hunt, and let me know your thoughts on it, man, whether you guys feel we shouldn't. I'm going to show you the money here in a second, and it'll help you understand it. But, my man, what is going on, Traber? Hope you're doing well, dude. Nice to see you. It is definitely going well, my man. And, look, I haven't seen you, but always happy to see you when I do. Time to talk some birds, baby. Hope you're ready for this damn season. I've been out here trying to get the people amped up. Got to remember Jordan Howard. Oh, that's why I talk about him every time we talk about the running backs, my man JP. You've heard me say that almost every day now. So Jordan Howard, someone we're going to talk about here shortly. But let's get back into the math, ladies and gentlemen. So you see the math here. Kareem Hunt's cap hit, as we just saw, 6.25 mil. Well, you're not just subtracting that from the roster. What you do is take the 51st salary cap hit, because it's only the top 51 salary cap hits that actually affect the salary cap. So you take the last guy, who is Josiah Scott, and it could be Richard Rodgers, whatever, but whoever the final guy is there on the roster, you subtract that number from Kareem Hunt's number, and you get $5,355,000. That is the number that would actually affect the Eagles salary cap. And currently, the Eagles have $8,927,963 in cap space. Oh, hell yeah, Howie, good job. But if you were to subtract that cap hit, if you were just to trade some draft picks, maybe a 4th rounder, maybe a 5th with a 6th or a 7th the next year, whatever the hell you got to do to get him on the roster, you've got yourself still $3.5 million here. So I think, obviously it can be done. Howie left us with money. That is something we talked about. And, I think he obviously wants to get paid, but when you're looking at his $6 million per year, that's 15th amongst running backs. And in between that 15 and 10, we're going to talk about here what that money looks like. It's really only from like 6 to 7 million there. So it's really going to depend how he wants, but Howie is going to work his magic if something were to happen. So let's take a look here at the top 10 running backs and their salary per year. So you're looking at like the top 5 guys, obviously, well, even the top 8 there, like he's not looking for that money, and I don't think he should be. So, but when you're looking at guys like Saquon and James Conner in that 7 mil range, 8 mil range, and then I had mentioned he is getting 6 mil per year. You see that the gap from 10 to 15, not, too crazy. So if he's looking for, maybe 8 mil per year, I could understand it. I mean, he's really talented, great out of the backfield. So I get that. So maybe he's looking for a 2-3 year deal. But the thing always comes back to it's Howie Roseman's magic. So you're looking at these running backs. And one of the things, I had mentioned before, obviously with other trades and people, is especially when I was talking about trading for AJ Brown, the way you could do it was trade for him and then give him a contract, but a small salary cap this year. So if you trade for him, maybe you give him a new contract. It's got a much smaller salary cap hit this year, and you spread that bad boy out. And I'm going to show you the future cap space here in a second, how he is able to do that. We'll look at the future cap space, and this is how AJ Brown was able to get locked down in 3 years is when his big salary cap hit is, and he'll probably get restructured then. So you see right now we have that $8,927,963. But next year we got 6.7 million. We talk about the salary cap going up with those TV deals. So we'll have even more money. We can roll over whatever money's left too. So we'll have money next year, but that 2024 is when we've got lots of cap space. So that number will go up too. And I really feel that we're sitting pretty. And obviously you're going to be signing people, doing all kinds of things. So that number is going to change. But my point is right now, you are able to sign people to longer term deals where you can back end that money, give them a big total, like give them total guaranteed money up front, and then you can spread that money out. That is exactly what we talked about. And then that is exactly what Howie Roseman did for AJ Brown. So this isn't a situation where you got to sign this guy to be, one of the top backs, but I think he kind of does want that top 10 kind of money where he's maybe making, and maybe it's 7 mil, maybe it's 7.5 mil, maybe he just wants a little bit more and he wants to be reassured because this is the final year of his contract. Maybe he's not looking for anything too crazy. So you could definitely get something done with him. So you definitely could. The Eagles could definitely go out there and make a move for him. And when you talk about their future ammo when it comes to draft picks, that's something, we've talked about how he has us sitting pretty for the future. We talked about that last year. So again, we added more picks. So we've got 2 first rounders next year. And then the next year, we've got 2 second rounders. So whatever you want to do with that, I don't think you need to use any of those top picks on Kareem Hunt. I think you could get it done with a 4th, maybe add in a 6th the next year, something like that. But regardless of what it is, maybe they like a certain player, maybe a Dillard or a Reagor, whatever it is, maybe you can entice them and then you save yourself some salary cap space as well. But I really think for me, well, actually with Reagor, it wouldn't work that. You would only lose 2 million if you could trade him, but you would lose 8 million if you cut him. But anyways, you guys see right there, you should. I understand the off the field stuff totally. On the field, I think, if they do this move, I I would get it because we are a team that wants to run the ball a lot, and we're going to open the playbook up. We're going to pass the ball more this year, I do feel, but I still feel that we're going to pound the rock. Now, something mentioned earlier, and, I bring this up every day. Jordan Howard is sitting there. And one thing you have to remember is he's a veteran. He doesn't need to be here right now. And we talk about guaranteed money. Something I always try to talk about is the money. So when you look at it, you have to understand that if he's on the roster week 1, his entire veteran minimum is guaranteed. If it's week 2, after week 2, then he actually only gets 25% of that guaranteed. So it's a lot of time can be about money if it's, you're not putting a lot on someone like a Jordan Howard. And that's something I try to mention almost every show, you guys know. So look, Jordan Howard's definitely a possibility. You've got guys like Latavius Murray out there. You've got Carlos Hyde. Devontae Booker's still out there. Kalen Ballage even. So there are guys, Corey Clement, I think was just released. So there are guys that are available that you could add. We also talked about the Eagles running backs that they have. DeAndre Torrey was just added. You see again here. So we could definitely add like a power back, and Kareem Hunt. He's got the power. He's got the hands. He can really do it all. So I wouldn't be mad if they made the move, but I totally get if they don't. I'm perfectly fine with our running back room right now. So to answer the question, could they? Yes. Should they? I don't think they need to. I would like to just keep building this thing the way we have been, but we'll see how the Eagles decide to do it. But I wanted to jump on top of it because I know everybody had a lot of questions about it. So just want to, talk about these things. And, yes, Latavius Murray, you guys have heard me say that. So we've been talking about the veterans that are still sitting there. And maybe I'll have to just make a show strictly, on these free agents so you guys can remember the names I mention all the time. So you can see that there are ways teams are built. And, with these veteran guys, they don't necessarily want to be at camp right now, whatever year they're in or the injuries that are, nagging them. I just really think that you have to look at the big picture a lot of times. So yes, Chalk Talk, exactly. Latavius Murray, baby. So let's go. Let's stay patient here, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves with Miles Sanders not practicing. I think people are freaking out, but it'll be all right. But I wouldn't be against adding another back. And I've said that, over and over. You guys know my motto the last few years has been run the damn ball with Doug Peterson. And then Nick Sirianni had me going the first few weeks of the season last season. So don't get me going there, man. Love talking birds. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. You know it. Let's go. I think guys are fine at H-back. Build some confidence in those guys. You'd be happy in Philly. Wouldn't be number 1. Yeah, and that's something you have to remember. He'd be running back by committee, and he does well there with Nick Chubb. And one of the things is he doesn't stay healthy. So in those 22 games he's missed in these 5 years, I think that he has proven that, he's talented, but he's also proven maybe he can't be a number 1 back. And at the age of 27, you've already got young running backs. So again, I don't think the Eagles should do it, but I wouldn't be against it. And, we've got an H-back in Jack Stoll, and we've got a bunch of tight ends that I think have certain roles that'll be fine. So we don't need to add Kareem Hunt and any craziness, but if they did, I wouldn't be against it. He's more versatile than Howard. Howard is more of for sure. But Jordan Howard's not going to cost you any draft picks, and you're not going to have to sign him to a massive deal. Cleats hurts, yes. So we all know who Kareem Hunt is for sure. Definitely not Jordan Howard. Think Howie may want to save our cap space for trade deadline. Well, also something I mentioned, my man, a lot. You've heard me say, a lot of times you want to hold on to this money so it can roll over next year in case an injury happens mid-season, anything like that. You want to have cap space. So that's, we're always we're in good hands. We're always in good hands with Howie. He is going to be smart and make sure if anything were to happen, he's ready to go. A certain trade pops up. We've talked about plenty of them. He has the ammo to do it. Could, yes. Should they? I say yes. Talk to Howie. Hey, man, look, this is, again, something where, depending on what they give up, I'm going to be, I don't really care. On the field, that would make us, holy shit, this running attack would be unstoppable. But again, do we want to give up this stuff? Are they confident with Miles and Kenny? And look, we've talked about adding someone like, all those backs we've said, Latavius Murray, Jordan Howard, Devontae Booker, Carlos Hyde. There are so many guys still left. So, hey, we'll see. Well, the running back room is fine. Hunt would be an excellent. Yeah, exactly. Add some new power as well as, and that's the thing. You add a 1A, 1B, 1C. Holy shit. He Gainwell. The snaps, I'm not sure would make Hunt too happy. And I'm not sure with him wanting a new contract, in his final year here, that we are going to want to pony up the money for a running back. A 27-year-old running back. That to me is where it's like, running backs are a dime a dozen. I know we like to run them into the dirt, we're going to in Sirianni's system and Steichen. But I really think that, they're going to add someone in one of those other areas that I've been mentioning for a long time. And we discussed this Kareem Hunt thing a while back when someone brought it up. So I just think I wanted to jump on top of it, but I hope that gave you guys the information you wanted. Worst situation is from being committee back on the Eagles. Yeah, man. I mean, it could definitely be worse. He could be on the Browns. So I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time on this beautiful Friday. If you have any questions, any comments, you can leave them down below, whether you're watching this right now, you're watching this later. I'm always down to talk some birds. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you're off to a great start this weekend because, dude, I can't wait for Eagles football. One less preseason game out of the way, one more to go. And oh my God, it's almost here. I cannot wait. But if you have anything you want to talk about, you can comment down below. You can always reach out to me, whatever it is. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for hitting that like button, subscribing, all the stuff you guys do. Truly appreciate you. And I'm glad you guys that you got something from this, JP. Hopefully everybody else was able to get something from this video. If you were, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, whatever it is. I'd love to talk some birds with you in the future. But thank you again for taking the time. But until next time, and look, I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the game on Sunday. Yes, I know it's preseason, but I'm still excited. Let's go Birds. Going to rock that jersey one more time. I don't care. I'm rocking them in preseason. It just feels nice to be back, baby. So getting excited. Hope I'll talk to you then. But if you need me, reach out. Appreciate you guys taking the time again. But stay safe out there. I'm Jimmy Smith. This has been On the Road to Victory. And yeah, as always, go Birds!